Hey guys, it's Linda, and from this pile that you see in front of you, I am sure that you can tell what the topic is going to be for today's video. Today's video is all about Trollbeads Gemstones. Pandora Panda, who is here on YouTube, she originally filmed a collective video of all of the gemstones that she currently has in her collection. And then she kind of asked and tagged everybody, who is also a collector of troll beads to kind of do the same. So, people can kind of get an idea of the variety in some of the gemstones, like compare video to video to video, so they can kind of best gauge what to purchase from the e-store versus what to purchase in person if they have the opportunity. My dear friend Ollie also recently filmed her gemstones collection, and now I am sharing mine with you. So sit back and grab a cup of tea or coffee or your beverage of choice, because I'm sure this one's going to be somewhat long, although I'll try to keep it as brief as I can. But let me share with you my gemstones collection. This is my Feldspar Moonstone. I have a pair, both purchased at different times. The one on the left was purchased from Trollbeads, Texas. I had several Feldspar Moonstone to choose from. The one on the right was purchased from a store here locally that used to sell troll beads, and they were getting rid of all of their inventory. And this was the very last Feldspar Moonstone that they had. The one on the left obviously has a little bit more color saturation, and I think has a little bit more sparkle within, like, all over the stone, but they both have beautiful flash, as you can see, and I'm really in love with the pair that I'm lucky enough to have. Here are the strawberry quartz that I own, and again, the strawberry quartz on the left is one purchased from several from Trollbeads, Texas. The one on the right is one that was purchased locally from that store that was closing. The one on the left, I feel, has more of a deeper strawberry pink color, along with that beautiful flecking within the gemstone itself. Both are just beautiful specimens, though, as you can see. I love showing two of the same gemstones side by side, so you can see just the, just the variety and the natural variation that you can expect within a natural gemstone. This is my Milky Quartz. This was purchased from that local jeweler, and this one I only have the one of, and I have not seen too much variety from gemstones that I've seen others post online. Like, this one is pretty consistent. It is very opaque, as you can see. Mine does not have a lot by way of inclusions. So just a sparkly white faceted gemstone. This is my Feldspar Quartz rock bead. I do believe this gemstone is fairly new. I believe it came out spring of 2021. This one has both opaque as well as transparent qualities to it. It is just this creamy bead. Like, here it is from the side. So you can see from the side, fairly opaque on either side, but the parts that are fairly transparent are these parts where the quartz quartz just kind of shines through. And I have a Feldspar Quartz that has nice pockets of that kind of running through. So this is the Feldspar Quartz rock bead. This is from the Trollbeads Day 2017. This is a golden rutilated quartz, and I purchased both of these from Trollbeads, Texas. Each time I purchased, there was a sale going on, and that is how I was able to acquire this particular gemstone, like a pair of them. And as you can see, like this one here is a little bit lighter, and it has numerous delicate strands of that rutilated, I guess the rutilation running through it. And then this one, I think, while it has a lot of those strands, like they are more closely interspersed between the gemstone. So you have more depth of color with the one on the left. But again, being natural gemstones, these are just a beautiful sunny color. And I feel very, very lucky to have a pair of these in my collection. This is a fairly recent purchase for me. This is a Cat's Eye Quartz. And this I know is retired. I wanted to get one before, you know, they were completely gone forever. And I just love that I was lucky enough to hand choose one that has that beautiful flash kind of going throughout the gemstone, along with those darker edges, which, you know, that flash is what makes up the cat's eye. So this is the Cat's Eye Quartz. This is also a retired gemstone. This is Smoky Quartz. And Smoky Quartz can range from very light to medium to dark. I feel I chose one that is more on the light to medium range. This is one that I wouldn't mind seeing if I can find another darker specimen. But if not, I'm happy with the one that I have. It is very beautiful, as you can see. Now, these are my Trollbeads Day, I want to say, oh gosh, 2000, was it 2016? Oh goodness, I'm getting them backwards. But these were a Trollbeads Day Wings of Amber beads. And while amber may not be like a gemstone in the earth, I still kind of consider them gemstones. Like these are fossilized tree sap, and you can see, you know, all the little inclusions, like where the sap ran over maybe some bugs or different plant material, which kind of gives them that unique sparkle within the bead itself, or the glass, well, not glass, amber. But these are just beautiful, warm honey colored amber beads. The other amber bead that I have in my collection is a little bit more opaque than the Wings of Amber. Like the two I showed you before are fairly translucent. This one is more opaque, and this is the Alabaster Amber. And Trollbeads does have one that's called Honeydew that is even much lighter than this, that is more transparent. And then they have another one, oh goodness, I can't think of what the name is, but it is the darkest color. So right now I have an alabaster, and then like the two that are kind of the maple syrup colored. And Yeah, this one goes beautifully with the Roses for Mom bead, which is why I kind of gravitated towards it. Here we have a pair of Pranite with Termilated Quartz. This came out in spring 2022, and this one I just fell in love with. Like, I quickly purchased a pair, and I really love that they're both so different. Like, one definitely has more bold termilated quartz, while another has more delicate strands of the termilated quartz running throughout. But they both have that gorgeous, gorgeous soft green color, as you can see. This one is a fairly transparent gemstone. It is just gorgeous. Like, this is absolutely one I recommend anyone get. This is a long retired gemstone, again purchased from that jeweler that was closing out their inventory. This is moss agate, and it was the only one that they had. I really think I still managed to get a very pretty one. Like, this one has softer greens kind of running through that white agate material, and it is a fairly opaque gemstone, but the parts that are green are just a little bit more on the transparent side. And so this is a really pretty one that is retired, that if you can acquire it, I would definitely recommend it. Here we have a pair of Aventurine. The one on the left was purchased from samples of many from Trollbeads, Texas. And the one on the right was purchased from that store here locally. And again, the one on the left I feel is just a slightly prettier specimen, because it has that sparkle and those little flecks kind of running throughout, similar to the strawberry quartz. But they both have this beautiful green color that is just so beautiful. So this is the green Aventurine. The next special bead that I have here that I'm sharing with you is a Trollbeads Day bead. This was within the last few years. I can't remember the specific year. This was the Trollbeads Day Earth bead, and it features a green Aventurine capuchon at the top of the bead, along with all this beautiful silver work. And this one is just a really pretty darker green Aventurine stone. It does have a lot of that beautiful sparkle within the stone, as you can see. This is one that my dear friend Ali helped pick up in person for me. So this is the Trollbeads Day Earth bead featuring the green Aventurine. And here we have an Amazonite gemstone. And this one is a fairly opaque stone. And it just has the most beautiful, like, bluish green coloration to it. I also feel it has like a little bit of almost like white, like very pale, faint white marbling kind of running through, which just gives it this really unique bluish green color. It's just so lovely. So this is an Amazonite. Here we have an emerald, and this particular emerald is a recent acquisition, and I really was able to obtain a very beautiful emerald specimen. As you can see, it is fairly opaque. It does have some inclusions running through, which of course adds to the gemstone's unique beauty. And I just think it pairs so beautifully with the Amazonite pictured here. So this is my emerald. And then the last green bead that I have is the Serpentine. And this came out with the spring collection 2021, I believe. It is a fairly opaque gemstone. And this one I haven't seen too much as far as differences. Like this one is fairly straightforward. I think, you know, others may have some that may have some slight inclusions, but for the most part, all the stones I've seen have been pretty consistent. So this is also one that I wouldn't feel bad about ordering on the e-store. So this is the Serpentine. This is a rose quartz, and this is just a very pale, light pink. As you can see, fairly transparent, and just very delicate in shading. It is retired, as is this rose quartz. Like this is, I think, the first rose quartz that Trollbeads put out. And it is a smooth bead, as you can see, no faceting. This one does highlight the inclusions in the stone pretty well. And I just think, you know, having the two together is definitely a nice contrast between the smooth and the faceted. So this is rose quartz. Here we have some pink agates, and as you can see, it can appear opaque in some circumstances, and it can also appear a little transparent in other circumstances. It ranges from a light pink to a brighter, darker pink. And there's even a few that have almost like peach to orange hues. It is not faceted. It is a smooth stone, and I am lucky enough to have 4 different ones. This is Ruby Rock, and this, I'm not sure what the rock portion is, but it does demonstrate how the naturally occurring ruby kind of forms within the rock. And I think I got a really pretty specimen. I have a lot of the ruby on one side, and then more of that rock or possibly quartz that's highly polished on the other. Again, fairly opaque gemstone, as you can see. And yeah, fairly recent acquisition within the last year. And that is my Ruby Rock. Now this is a recent acquisition as of July. This is my Ruby. And Trollbeads Texas had this on special the entire month of July, since it's July's birthstone. And so I went for it because I've never really seen like the ruby or the emerald ever go on sale. So I did treat myself to the ruby. Fairly opaque, as you saw, and does have some slight inclusions which add to the beauty of the gemstone. But this is my gorgeous, gorgeous ruby. This is my red halo bead. I think this came out with the holiday, like the Evergreen Divine collection for 2021. And it features two faceted red tiger eye on either side of the halo bead. And I fell in love with red tiger eye because of this particular bead. They also, in the Evergreen Divine collection, came out with a lock. And that is still a lock that I would love to purchase for myself. But this is the red halo featuring the red tiger eye. So the red halo bead had me falling in love with red tiger eye, and I recently acquired this beautiful red tiger eye gemstone specimen from Trollbeads, Texas. And I love how it has the transition from the dark to that flashier, lighter section on this particular gemstone. It is just absolutely gorgeous. Also a fairly opaque bead, or gemstone as I should say. And yeah, I absolutely love it. This one is retired, so I would absolutely encourage you to purchase one if you have some that are available. Here we have a garnet feldspar bead. This was included with this year's spring collection 2022, and as you can see, this one has a lot, well, as you can imagine, this one would have a lot of variety. I have lots of pockets here where you can see the garnet kind of popping through. Lots of creamy white background. Like this one is definitely an opaque bead that has a little bit of translucency as you get to those pockets of the garnet. It also has patches here of more brown flecks, and I've even seen some that have a little bit of green. But this is the garnet feldspar that released with the spring 2022 collection. This here is a Hessianite Garnet, and this one is a little bit more of a transparent gemstone, but it has a beautiful, rich red color. Red is probably a color you would see least of in my Trollbeads collection, but slowly but surely, I'm adding a little more red and more oranges into my collection. So this here is the Hessianite Garnet. Here we have the Faceted Chalcedony, and this is a pair that I picked up from that local store when they were selling troll beads. It is a fairly opaque stone, and this one I haven't seen too much variance within the stone itself. Like it may have some slight inclusions, but it has this beautiful pale bluish purple, which is what originally attracted me to this particular stone. So that is the Faceted Chalcedony. And then here we have amethyst. The one that is darker on the right is a recent acquisition from Trollbeads, Texas. The one on the left was the very first gemstone I ever purchased, and that was purchased in person with that local jewelry store that was a Trollbeads retailer. And yeah, they both are beautiful specimens of amethyst. Fairly translucent bead, translucent gemstone, I should be saying. And yeah, the inclusions that you see are what, of course, give each gemstone their uniqueness. So that is my amethyst. Here we have a blue Sodalite, and I believe this was released fall of 2021, and it has this gorgeous blue that seems to have just been, at least in my case, swirled with white or cream. The rich blue really does peek through on this particular Sodalite, but it does have that beautiful swirl effect. This one is definitely more opaque, and I imagine this one would have quite a bit of variety, but I really am in love with this particular one that I chose. So that is the blue Sodalite. Here we have a pair of Lapis Lazuli, and this is one that I purchased from that local jeweler that was selling troll beads. This one is definitely an opaque gemstone, and as you can see, like, it does have inclusions. It does seem to have like gold flecks within the bead itself, or I should say gemstone, but just a gorgeous, gorgeous, bright cobalt blue. Like, placing it next to the blue Sodalite, you can see how much more of a brighter blue it is. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous gemstone. And then the last blue gemstone that I have in my collection is the blue Tiger Eye. And this one does have a bit of flash. A lot of the gemstones that I saw, the blue Tiger Eye, they appeared very flat. And so I count myself lucky that I was able to get a blue Tiger Eye that has a bit of flash to it. As you can see, it is a opaque gemstone and just very, very lovely. Here we have a gemstone that I feel is best picked out in person, or if you have the ability to have someone film it for you and send you live pictures, I would recommend. This is Labradorite, and the Labradorite on the far left is a lab that I had purchased from the e-store when my little jewelry store closed down. And while it is pretty, it is not near as flashy as these other two labs that you see. It is deeper in color, and I honestly don't know if there are labs that are super flashy that are deeper in color like that. Labs, you know, are absolutely gorgeous and are definitely one of those gemstones that I would recommend getting in person if you have the ability to. But I love the three that I have, and I just love this mysterious lit from within gemstone. This is Pyrite, and this one actually I think I would feel comfortable ordering from the e-store. I haven't seen a lot of variety with this particular gemstone. I might see like a pyrite that has like a little black spot or two, you know, with just the natural inclusions. But this is just a metallic, like yellow or bronze color. Just highly reflective and super fun to feature on a bracelet design. The next stone that I have is in the same vein, and this is the steel hematite. And this one also highly reflective. This is one that I would feel comfortable also ordering from the e-store. Every single steel hematite that I've ever seen all seem to be, you know, just pretty much like the one that you see right here. This one is more of a silvery black finish. And actually, let me put the pyrite and the steel hematite side by side so you can kind of see the difference. The steel hematite on the left, the pyrite on the right. You can tell the hematite has more of a grayish black appearance, while the pyrite is more of a like a gold or bronze color. Here we have a beautiful gray moonstone, and this is one that I definitely would recommend choosing in person or via live video. This one is one where, you know, you can hopefully find a specimen that has a beautiful flash, like I have one here, and fairly opaque. I mean, kind of heading towards a little translucency, but still a fairly opaque gemstone. But definitely has that beautiful lit from within flash. Here we have a pair of natural gray quartz, and this is definitely one, again, that I would recommend purchasing in person or, you know, via like a video. This is one that it can have a lot of variety, and I think the inclusions in this are what make it fun. Like, this is one that my dear friend Ali here helped me choose. Look at all that beautiful sparkle on the side of the bead, and of course you do capture it a little bit on the front side, but like the one I just showed you definitely has a little more sparkle than this one. And this one, I think the ones that are a little darker in color tend to have more of that sparkle and flash. But this is the natural gray quartz that came out for Father's Day 2021. This is Agate Dendritic, and this I purchased. It was the last Agate Dendritic available at that local store of mine, and this one I imagine would have quite a bit of variety. Of course, you've got that white agate with whatever the black is. I don't know if it's black quartz running through, but mine has very, very fine veins of whatever the black is that's running through the agate material, and fairly opaque gemstone, as you can see. Very, very pretty. Here we have Hornblende, and this came out, I want to say fall, a couple of years ago. And this one is also one that has a lot of variety. I actually feel I've got a lot of variety going on just in my specimen. Like I have one side that has very pronounced patches of that dark black material, and then the other side has more delicate strands of that same black material running throughout. This is an opaque gemstone, as you can see, and yeah, just a lot of fun. So this is Hornblende. Now this is one that I would feel fairly confident ordering from the e-store, just because I haven't really ever seen anything that, you know, looks much different from this one. This is my black onyx, and you know, there might be like one or two little spots on it, you know, with others, you know, where you can see like a slight inclusion or mark. But for the most part, the black onyx gemstones that I've seen everybody showcase pretty much look like this one. So this is one I would feel confident ordering from the e-store. All right, we are nearing the home stretch. This is my Sunstones. These are part of the Go Round line from Trollbeads. And this one is definitely one I would recommend choosing in person, in the hopes of getting some of that beautiful flash in whatever go round that you pick. But this one is just beautiful. It's smooth, and it's just one of those tiny little round beads. So this is my Sunstone. And then here we have my go round Labradorites. And again, one I would definitely recommend choosing in person or via live video. I do feel I got a pair that have some nice flash to them, as you can kind of see as I move around. These are my go round Labradorites. I only have one of these. This is the Go Round Red Onyx. I can see myself wanting a second though. It is just this beautiful translucent reddish orange. I think I need to remember to take this one along with me when I go to the grand event here in a few days' time, so I can try to get one that's fairly close in color and size. Here are my go round garnets, and these are just the most beautiful shade of that like cranberry red, and oh, I'm just in love with them. They are so pretty. So these are the go round garnets. Here is a go round Lapis Lazuli. I do have a pair, but the other one is currently in use on a bracelet design, and I just don't want to break up that bracelet design. But this one has a lot of variety in it. You can see it does have a little bit of cream or white kind of running throughout. And so this is the Go Round Lapis Lazuli. Here we have my Go Round Amethyst pair that I have, and as you can see, definitely a little variety between the two. There's natural inclusions, in some cases almost a little bit of gray material kind of creeping through, but that beautiful purple is definitely the star of the show. So these are my Go Round Amethyst. Here we have the Go Round Green Aventurine, and I managed to get a nicely matched pair. You might see one or two little flaws in. It's kind of hard to disguise flaws, especially with a smooth finish. But these are my Go Round Green Aventurine. Here we have Rose Quartz. This is a retired Drops of Love, I believe it's called, pendant. And to me, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like a genie bottle, but that's kind of what it makes me think of. And it has this beautiful faceted rose quartz kind of done in a like a teardrop shape. So that is the Drops of Love pendant. And then here we have the green and white lock. I believe that's what it is simply called. Like, this is a more simple plain lock, but it does have a cabochon of green aventurine and then a cabochon of white moonstone. Just a really pretty simple lock. Here we have the Spiritual Butterfly class. This came out with the Spring 2022 collection. And as you can see, it does have a couple faceted Pranite with Termilated Quartz cabochons on either side. It also features these beautiful butterflies on the opposite sides. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous clasp. So that is my Spiritual Butterfly clasp with the Pranite. And here we have the Santa's Elf lock. It also makes me think, especially in profile, of the Man on the Moon. This is a lock that came out with the Evergreen Divine collection. And on the opposite side, it has this gorgeous translucent faceted green onyx. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous clasp. So that is the Santa's Elf lock. All right, guys, so that is it for my video. I certainly hope you enjoyed this look at all of my Trollbeads gemstones. What is your favorite? Is there anything now that is on your list that previously wasn't on there before? Let me know in the comments below, and I certainly hope you guys are doing well. Bye.